struggling, to be honest. Let's get some roll on. Did that with the camera on accident. So I actually wrote down the accurate one, which I'm sure you're looking at pretty much. Accurate one is going to be 176.8. Day one of actually tracking this. Now, important note out of the gate. In the last video, I believe I accidentally mentioned that you do it before you go to the restroom in the morning. You do this before everything except for that. You do it post going to the restroom. There's actually a couple of things that I do to try and keep this accurate, especially with the body fat calculator. Although, as you'll see here, I'm extremely skeptical. I actually think it's pretty inaccurate. I'll probably put the stat down just for fun, but realistically, it just seems too low, obviously, to be real. Like, that just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So I'll do it for fun, but I'm not thinking that it's very accurate. So the next thing I'm going over here is the body measurements. As you can see, I pretty much am going to show through all of the different locations that I go through. The first was the neck there. Next one was chest, left bicep, right bicep. And I'll go through the next cut. It's forearms. From there, you go down into the waist. I even go across like the butt area and hips, and then quads and calves. But a couple of good side notes on this is mostly the way that I've seen this done outside of my own personal use is pretty much like not flexing. You want to just have like arms out or kind of in a relaxed stance, like a normal stance really, and then you want to go ahead and measure across whatever is the widest part of the area where you are actually measuring. And beyond that, it's pretty much just taking notes. Actually be a slower elevator. Like, I feel like that was just in slow motion.
I feel like I've gone to the grocery store every 3 days for the last week once I figured out how much I'm actually supposed to be eating. I have a backpack to carry all this stuff, so it's realistically just not like very possible to get that much food home in one trip. Try and hit those macros. So I just got them counted, which the video will be coming soon. Okay, that wasn't bad though. Overall, that was like under 50 bucks. Keep it at the plus side with all of this is I am easily the least picky person when it comes to food. Like, I definitely keep it simple. I'm pretty much a bad cook. Fairly bad cook. I definitely could get a little bit more advanced, honestly. It's gonna be a problem eventually, especially part of that though is, you know, like I'm not like just starting counting these macros. I like to keep it simple, just hit the goals and continue from there. Mostly lots of working on making sure I have my protein in there because I find it pretty difficult. So I'm a ground turkey kind of person. And honestly, the real plus side is that was my entire commute to the grocery store. I'm already back in my apartment. So
longest. like that was yesterday that I actually put together my first weight log and all of that. So I'm pretty bummed. Woke up this morning, just went straight to the gym. A little bit distracted because I was trying to get some video. And I already missed day number 2 of tracking my weight. Off to a great start. I'm gonna have to put this like my paper to keep track of this has to go somewhere a little bit more handy, because otherwise this just isn't gonna actually just set a Google Calendar alert. Google Calendars, if you don't use Google Calendars, I recommend it because it actually does a really good job at organizing everything. Back a couple years ago, I was an OCD nut when it came to actually keeping track of my schedule. Every 15 minutes I had it down, like what I was doing. So I'm not nearly as insane at this point, but I do something pretty similar. Honestly, not that far off, but I think it's a pretty good way of keeping everything in track, and the alerts are nice because, as you can tell, it's just easy to wake up and like go, and I mean, that's what setting new habits really is all about, is actually following through with them and making sure they get set in stone. Now I am starting a good handful of habits all at once, so if I can hit kind of the main core ones, get those set in stone, and then continue on with the smaller ones. That's kind of how I prioritize it in my own mind, to make sure all of this actually starts to happen and flow and become natural. So, little tip for you. Okay, so I just got back from getting groceries, and I'm gonna specifically, I guess the main point of this video is gonna be, like this specific video is gonna be going over macros. I kind of try to, I do the, if it fits in your macros. I get there's probably gonna be quite a few of you that don't really, that this doesn't pertain to, but if you are interested, this is pretty much what I'm doing. And I'm also pretty fresh into this, and my goals pretty much are just to gain weight. So I'm tracking weight daily now, and I'm tracking my food, and I'm hitting the gym. So pretty much I have noticed to go to the gym, or go to the grocery store a ton ever since I started this, but I'll kind of go over what my typical basic run looks like. Some of my main ingredients in food. I'm a simple eater. I don't eat a lot of variety, to be honest. I plan on building into that. We'll see if that happens. This will be like, you know what I mean, like we'll look down a little bit and see if that ends up happening. But starting out, just to keep it simple, just to keep my goals on track, this is what we're looking at so far. So, bread. Big fan of oat bread. Nothing crazy there. Been eating it for a couple years now, honestly. Really, I enjoy this. Grabbed 2 of them because it was on sale. Next one, we're looking at pretty much one of our fundamentals. Now, I'm a massive cereal eater, always have been, most likely always will be, but a good healthy alternative that my friend Chad has put me on hard would be Kodiak cakes, Kodiak cakes. So these protein pancakes, I don't honestly know a better option for breakfast or late night snacking. It doubles for both. I go through this like it's nobody's business. Worth every penny, definitely not as cheap, not on sale, but really good for you. So big fan of that. Also got 2 of those. Next thing beyond that, egg whites. My goal here lately has been to increase protein. Definitely a struggle of mine to actually, major struggle of mine is to actually get all the protein in. I mean, I get it done one way or another. However, step number 1 is I actually don't have any protein powder. Want to get some protein powder, need to get some protein powder. My roommate Nafe is a massive like protein fiend. Over here he's got his little specialty flavors that are delicious, and I should probably get on that game, to be honest. It's just a matter of time. So for now though, egg whites, not even a fan of eggs, just gonna do it. So there's that. My other source of protein, ground turkey. This has been my go-to lately. Pretty much nice and lean, 98%. My macros, I'll go over them in a second here, but that kind of helps me stay in line with getting that protein without going over too much with the fat, because I'm a little bit more of a carbs person than fat. So I've got 2 pounds of that, and like I said, it doesn't last very long. So that's that. Now, spaghetti sauce, just because I eat spaghetti all the time. Didn't need to buy spaghetti because I already have spaghetti, but my carbs look like spaghetti, whole wheat spaghetti. Whole wheat spaghetti. And jasmine rice. That's that. Like I said, I keep it pretty simple, mostly just because I'm pretty damn focused on hitting these macro goals, and then I'll get the complexity levels up a little bit later. Last but not least, peanut butter. Big fan of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. For some reason, that's always done really well for pre-workouts if they're going to be big ones. Or, oh, I forgot bagels. I'm trying to get some bagels. I'll show you what my roommate gets because they are good. Looking at just some plain old blueberry bagels, and the macros on those are actually really good. Tossing this stuff all. So those are great for macros, honestly. Those protein, the bagels. I've seen protein bagels too. I've had protein bagels. I've got a friend Carol that had protein bagels, and they're delicious. I need to figure out what those are again. But yeah, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, surprisingly, just something that gets me going pretty well. So stick with that. And that's really. That's it. That's all. That's what my grocery run looks like. It is simple. And in the fridge right now, there's not even that much in the fridge. I've got deli sandwich materials, so I can make deli, and that's it. Deli materials, and that's it. So I generally keep it pretty simple. The more complex it gets, the more time it takes for me, and I'm just not at that level of advanced with cooking. Wish I was. Looking forward to it someday. Now let me jump into the macros. So guys, as I'm editing this, I realized that there's really just, it's way too much information to try and throw into one video, so check out my next video that's going to come up. I go into more details about how I track my macros, how I count my macros, how I set up what my macros should be, and kind of use it as an example. So keep an eye out for that as it comes live, and thanks for checking this video out. If you stuck around this long, slap that like button, slap that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody that stuck around this long, and I absolutely look forward to what this channel is going to bring. See you there.